There is something happening right now that nobody is talking about loudly enough. Seniors across the country are waking up every single morning to the same silent suffering, and most of them have accepted it as permanent. The legs that feel like concrete before the first step. The feet so cold at night that sleep becomes impossible. The swelling around the ankles that presses against every pair of shoes. The cramping that strikes without warning, mid-sentence, mid-step, mid-dream. And the doctors who nod slowly and say the same 4 words that have ended more conversations than they have ever started: this is normal aging. But it is not normal. It is not inevitable. And the people who are discovering that truth are not finding it in a clinic. They are finding it in their own kitchens, before the sun is fully up, holding a warm cup that costs less than $1 to make, and feeling, for the first time in years, like their body is finally listening to them again. Here is what is actually happening inside the legs of every person over 60 who struggles with circulation. The inner lining of your blood vessels, a microscopic layer called the endothelium, is under constant attack. Inflammation eats at it. Oxidative stress wears it down. And when that lining breaks down, blood does not flow freely. It drags. It pools. It fails to reach the smallest capillaries in your feet and calves, the ones responsible for warmth, for sensation, for the feeling of being fully present inside your own body. This is not a mystery. This is biology. And biology can be worked with. Certain natural compounds, taken together, taken consistently, taken at the exact right moment of the day, can begin to reverse this damage. Not cover it up. Actually repair it. And the people who have found this are simply waking up 5 minutes earlier and walking to their kitchen. The drink begins with warm water. Not boiling, not cold, warm, the temperature of a comfortable bath. At this temperature your stomach lining relaxes, and absorption increases by nearly 40% compared to cold water. You are not just hydrating. You are opening a door. Into that warm water goes half a teaspoon of raw turmeric powder. Inside it lives curcumin, one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory compounds on the planet. In over 3,000 published studies, curcumin has demonstrated the ability to reduce inflammatory markers in vascular tissue, suppress the enzymes that cause arterial stiffness, and protect the endothelial lining from the oxidative damage at the root of poor circulation. It does not just soothe inflammation. It interrupts the biological process that creates it. But curcumin alone is almost completely useless to the human body. 90% of it passes through without ever reaching your bloodstream. The fix is a single pinch of black pepper. The piperine inside it increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That is the difference between a compound that does nothing and one that changes the chemistry of your blood vessels. Next comes a teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar, the kind with the mother still floating inside it. Its acetic acid reduces arterial stiffness, improves vessel wall sensitivity, and lowers fasting glucose, all 3 directly improving how blood circulates through your lower body. And finally, fresh lemon. The vitamin C it delivers is essential for collagen synthesis, the protein that keeps your capillary and vein walls strong and flexible. Without it, vessel walls weaken. With it, the body rebuilds. 90 seconds of preparation. Drunk slowly on an empty stomach, before coffee, before food, before anything else. That timing is not optional. It is the entire mechanism. The changes do not arrive all at once. That is important to understand, and it is also, in a strange way, the most hopeful part of this entire story. Because what you are not doing is tricking your body. You are not flooding it with stimulants that force a temporary response and leave you depleted. You are feeding it the raw materials it has been missing, and watching it, slowly, methodically, do what it has always known how to do when given what it needs. The first thing most people notice, usually within the first week, is the warmth. A gentle, spreading warmth in the lower legs that arrives in the mornings and lingers longer than it used to. Feet that were perpetually cold begin to hold heat. The sensation is subtle enough that some people almost dismiss it, until they realize they have not reached for their thick socks in 3 days. By the second week, the morning stiffness begins to shift. That locked, reluctant feeling in the legs when you first stand, the one that makes the first 10 steps of every morning feel like negotiation, starts to soften. Not disappear overnight. Soften. Become more manageable. Become less of the first thing you notice when you open your eyes. By the third and fourth week, the reports become more remarkable. Nighttime cramping begins to reduce in frequency and intensity. Swelling around the ankles begins to visibly decrease by the end of the day. The heaviness lifts. The coldness retreats. The legs that felt borrowed begin to feel, unmistakably, like yours again. This is not magic. This is what happens when you address the actual biological cause of a problem rather than managing its symptoms indefinitely. Your body is not broken. It has never been broken. It has been under-resourced. But struggle is not the same as surrender. And a body that is still here, still waking up every morning, still trying, that body is still reachable. So start tomorrow. Warm water, turmeric, black pepper, raw apple cider vinegar, fresh lemon. Drink it slowly. Do it again the next day. Give it 21 mornings before you judge it. And if this video gave you something real to hold on to today, drop a yes in the comments right now. Because every person who types that word decided today that they are still worth fighting for. And that is everything.